Constraint equation is a very important topic. So, what exactly is a constraint equation? See, in this figure, there is body 1. Now, body 1 can move in any direction. If you see the second figure, this body 3 and body 2 are connected by a rope. So, the way body 3 moves, it is going to affect the movement of the body 2. So, there is a constraint for body 2 here. Okay. So, we can say that a constraint motion, this case 2 is a constraint motion, case 1 is a free motion. Okay, so this is the basic definition of constraint motion, that the movement of one body is going to affect the movement of the another body, and we have to find the interrelationship between their accelerations. So constraint motions equations basically establishes relation between velocities, acceleration of two different masses. You can see a pulley system here. There is a pulley and mass 1 and 2 are hanging from it. So the motion of 2 is affecting the motion of 1. There can be a situation that mass 2 can be more than mass 1. So mass 2 will be going down, mass 1 will be going up. So the motion in the mass 2 is deciding the motion in the mass 1. So it is a case of constraint motion, and we have to develop constraint equation. That means how much is the acceleration of mass 2 and what is the relationship between mass 2 and mass 1. Let us say mass 2 is having a2 acceleration and mass 1 is having a1 acceleration. What is the interrelationship? So that we can develop using constraint equations. So if you take the same example, for developing this constraint equation, we have to take a reference line. This reference line can be taken anywhere. Let us say we are taking in the center of the pulley. Okay, see, one thing is fixed here. The length of the rope is fixed. This mass is going down, then this mass is going up. In the whole journey, this length of the rope is fixed. It is not changing. So if you take this center as the reference point, you can say that x1 is the distance between the center of mass 1 to the reference line, and x2 is the distance between the center of mass 2 and the reference line. There is a small, this curved length. This is very small. The pulley will be normally very small, so that small length you can ignore. So you can write here that x1 plus x2 is the total length, ignoring this small curve portion. It is a total length, and which is a constant. It is not changing. So differentiating both sides with respect to time. Now if you differentiate this parameter x1 and x2, what are you going to get? These are basically displacements only. You are going to get the velocities. So if you differentiate it once, dx1 by dt, it will be v1, dx2 by dt, it will be v2. So v1 plus v2, L is a constant, so it will be equal to 0. So from here you get an equation that v1 is equal to minus v2. If you differentiate it once more, if you differentiate velocity, you are going to get the acceleration. If you differentiate v1, you are going to get a1. Similarly, v2 you are going to get a2. So a1 plus a2 is equal to 0. That means a1 is equal to minus a2. That means if a1 is equal to some a, minus a2 will be minus a. If this block is going downward with an acceleration a, this block will be going upward with an acceleration a. This minus indicates change in direction. Let us see one more example. Two pulley, multiple masses. The procedure remains same. Okay, here also you have got two pulleys, mass 2 and 3 is there, mass 1 is there. So here also what are we trying to do? We have taken the same reference line. You can take the reference line anywhere, the answer won't change. For simplicity, we have taken the reference line here. So this distance is x1, this is x2, and the pulley distance is x4, and the mass 3 distance is x3. So if you see, x1 plus x4, now this is rope 1 and this is rope 2. x1 plus x4 will be constant, so that is what written here. Now coming to L2. What is L2? L2 will be the dimension of this curved portion, this portion. So this portion, if I want to get, see, if you want to get here, see, we have to basically find this length and this length, right? Now ignoring the small length, so this length plus this length, it will be the L2. So what is this length? X2 minus x1. This length will be x2 minus x1. See here, see, x2 minus x4, see, x2 minus x4, what are you going to get? X2 minus x4, you are going to get this length, this 3 portion, this red portion, and x3 minus x4, x3 minus x4, you are going to get this length. Okay, see, x3 minus x4, you're going to get this length, and x2 minus x4, you're going to get this red length. Both lengths are tackled here. Basically we have found out this length and this length, and we are ignoring the small length. So this is what is your L2. Once you just simplify that, x2 plus x3 minus 2x4 is equal to L2. Then you have to differentiate both sides. Then you have to again differentiate it. If you differentiate the first equation, you are going to get a1 plus a4 is equal to 0. If you differentiate the third equation twice with respect to time, you are going to get this equation, a2 plus a3 minus 2a4 is equal to 0, or a4 is equal to minus a1 from this equation. Okay, and from this equation we have to just frame an equation now. So basically here we are discussing how to frame a constraint equation. So here you have this constraint equation in this format. Okay, so this is how we develop constraint equations. So let's see one more example. This is also multiple pulleys. There are three pulleys here. Okay, so for 3 pulleys we can take a datum or reference, both mean the same. So this is our reference line. So here the thing is that these ropes are tied to one end, and there is one mass is there. So let us say this distance is x1, and up to the mass, this is x2, this is x3, and this is x4. Okay, so we need to frame the equations here. So similar situation, x1 plus x3 will be equal to L1. See, x1 plus x3. See here how many ropes are there? This is one rope, this is another rope, and this is another rope. There are 3 ropes are there. So x1 plus x3 will be the first rope. Similarly for L2 and L3 we have to write. Let us see the L2. See, x1 minus x3 plus x4 minus x3. See, x1 minus x3. See, x1 minus x3, you have got this much length, plus x4 minus x3, you are going to get this much length. Okay, this small portion. x4 minus x3 will be the small portion, and x1 minus x3, you are going to get this portion. Alright, so this is L2. Similarly you can write an equation for L3 also. x1 minus x4, x1 minus x4, you are going to get this length, and x2 minus x4, x2 minus x4, you're going to get this length. Basically whenever you have a pulley like this, let us say like this, you're writing this length and you're writing this length, you are ignoring the small portion. Okay, so this is what you have got. So if you differentiate it twice, you're going to get a1 plus a3 is equal to 0, and if you simplify this, This will be x1. So you have a situation here where you have three equations are there, and these three equations you have to solve now. If you differentiate twice the first equation, you get this equation, and this x1 plus x4 minus 2x3, differentiate it twice, you're going to get this equation, and here this is the third equation. So there are four unknowns. Basically we are trying to find out interrelationship between a1 and a2. So from this first equation you're going to get this equation. You put it in the second one, you finally get a4 is equal to minus 3a1, and put this into the third one. You are trying to eliminate basically a2 and a3, right? So once you solve it, you finally get a2 is equal to minus 7a1. So this is how we use constraint equations and we solve the unknowns. Okay, thank you. Question of this type. The question reads, consider the situation shown in the figure. Both pulleys and the string are light and all surfaces are smooth. There is a block kept over here. There is a pulley, there is a string, and this string has been wound twice, and then the same string is connected with this block, and they are asking you what is the acceleration of the 1 kg block, this block, and what is the tension in the string. Okay, so for this, the situation is like this. See, you have a string here, and if you consider, this string will have T tension. Okay, now the same string is going over here. See, there is no friction in the question. They're not saying that this is sitting on a rough surface. So if this is T, so this also will be T, and even this will be T, isn't it? Now if you consider this particular portion, what will happen? You have a situation like this. You have, this is T, and even this is also T. So in order to keep this in equilibrium, this has to be 2T. Okay, all right. So let us say this block is accelerating in this direction. Okay, now with 2T, if this block is accelerating with A acceleration, with T, this block will accelerate to A. Okay, if 2T, this block, see, there is a 2T here. Okay, just now we have analyzed. If 2T is the tension over here and the block is accelerating with A, that means with T force it will less force, it will accelerate more. Okay, so you can draw the free body diagram of this 1 kg block. You can draw the free body diagram of this 1 kg block. You will see that you have a T here like this, and 1 kg means 10 Newton force. Okay, and the block is going down, so it will be 10 minus T is equal to mass into acceleration. So this is one equation, and if you take this particular block, the situation is it is like this. You have a 2 kg and there is a 2T force, 2T tension is there, so 2T will be equal to mass into acceleration, mass into acceleration. So here you are getting A is equal to T. So if you are getting A is equal to T, so you can put it in this equation. So this is 10 minus A is equal to 2A, or A is equal to, this will be 3A is equal to 10, or A is equal to 10 divided by 3. So once you get the value of A, you can find the value of T. T also will be equal to 10 by 3 newtons. Okay. So in this question we have shown in another pulley system. Here if you see, there is a mass given over here. Okay. And you have to find the acceleration and let us say tension in the system. So here if you see, this mass is there, so we will have a tension. Now the same string is going on, so if it is T here, it will be T here. See, when you take the whole system, this T will be equal opposite. Okay, only when you separate it, suppose if I separate this like this, then I will see T here. Okay, otherwise this T will be equal and opposite. So if it is T here, it is T here. If it is T here, it is T here, opposite, because the wire is not getting distributed. Okay. So we have to draw the free body diagram of, let us say, this mass. If you draw the free body diagram, you will see a mass, tension is in this direction, and mass is there. So what is the net force acting on this body means? It is the T force, mass into acceleration. Alright, if this block is going with acceleration, let us say if this block is going down with an acceleration, going down with acceleration A, so this block also will move with an acceleration A, because the string is not divided. Here also one string is there, one string is there. So this is our equation. And if you draw the free body diagram for the second block, here weight is acting downward, T force is acting up, which is a tension, and the block is going down with acceleration A. So that means this force is more than this force, is equal. What is the mass here? Mass and acceleration is same, so it is acceleration. This is our equation 2. So we need to solve this. Add these two. 1 plus 2, if you do, you get cancel to 2ma. Get acceleration is equal to by 2, which is 5 meter per second square. And if you want to find the value of T, so T value will be equal to 5, so is 5. Okay. So we got one more question here. We're going to solve it. Now here M1 and M2 masses are given. A force F is applied and their 0.4 Newton force is applied, and they're asking you what is the acceleration and tension in the cord. Acceleration they're asking in M2. In M2 they're asking the acceleration. So this block they're asking you the acceleration. Okay, how much is the acceleration? So if you see this diagram, here there is a cord is there, and this cord is divided into two. This is strung to a wall. So let us say if there is a tension T in this cord, it will be T in this cord also, because basically they are same cord. So if as I told in the previous question also, if you consider this portion, if you consider only this portion, so if this portion has to be in equilibrium, if this portion has to be in equilibrium. Okay, so here there should be 2T tension should be there. Now if let us say the force is applied in this direction, so acceleration also will be in this direction. So for 2T tension, if acceleration is A, for T tension the acceleration will be 2A. Less force, more acceleration. Okay, less resisting force, more acceleration, in simple words. So you have to draw for the free body diagram. For M2, if you draw, 2 will be like this. You have a block, there is a force which is 0.4 Newton is applied here. 2T force is applied in this direction and the block is moving with acceleration A. So because the force is applied towards right, so we can write 0.4 minus 2T is equal to M2. M2 mass is 0.2 into A. So this is equation 1. Now we'll draw the free body diagram for M1. It is, so here there is a T force is there, acceleration is 2A. Alright, so here there is only one force, so T will be equal to mass. What is M1 mass? 300. So it is 300 grams. It is, we have to write in kgs, 0.3 into 2A. Okay, so that means T equal to 0.6 A. We need to just put it in this equation now. So you get 0.4 minus 2 into 0.6. So it is 1.2 A is equal to 0.2 A. So your A will be equal to, when this 1.2 goes other side, it will be 1.4. So it becomes 0.4 by 1.4, or it is 7. Once you get the value of A, you can use either of the equations. You can use the second equation. T is equal to 0.6 into 2 by 7. This will be the tension in the string. So here the main point what you have to observe is the cord is getting bifurcated, and you need to draw the equilibrium situation, and accordingly you draw individual free body diagrams. Okay, if this whole system is taken together, then this free body diagram will actually be like this. Okay, but we are cutting and dot. When I'm drawing this dot means I am cutting and bringing it here and seeing what is happening. Then we have to draw what all internal forces are there. Here tension is the internal force in the system. Okay, thank you.